Number 5. Love Shield. This is a love letter, not a romantic one, but a love letter nonetheless. I loved you as soon as I knew I held you in my womb. You are the light of my heart. Carrying you was no burden whatsoever, and reading to you daily was a perfectly pleasurable part of my pregnancy. The birth itself, although more difficult than my wildest dreams, was worth every haunting and harrowing moment. When you were in my arms for the first time, a shield of the most ferocious love covered us. This shield was so intense it engulfed us. I thought it would protect you from almost any harm. It was during the dreamy days of your infancy the love shield first failed. I was assaulted in your presence, and a few days later, you arched your back with such force that you fell with your chair attached to you. I must have cried a tub full of tears knowing we both got hurt so early in your life. I reevaluated our situation and decided if we got a fresh start somewhere new, I could better provide power to the love shield. In our new home, I vowed to keep communication moving well between us, to hug you multiple times a day, to provide a home for you where you would feel proud to bring your friends, to ensure you had fun-filled holidays, to let you try things until you found your heart's desire, to tell you every day how beautiful you were and that I loved you. Most importantly, I would teach you to be kind and mold you into a gentleman. The move was a good decision for us, and our bond seemed unbreakable. In those early days, 2 beds were our only furniture, yet there was much storytelling and laughter. I knew you could not stay a tiny, tender, sweet-voiced toddler forever. What I expected was to gradually have less time with you as you developed, and eventually bi-weekly visits. The next 14 years of your development were filled with many ups and downs, the roller coaster ride of life. I continuously groomed the love shield, believing it would always survive. I knew for sure we would spend every Christmas together, for you were a boy who had a bit of December 25th built right into you. It was your favorite holiday. Instead, now you are absent. A hollow, grayish shell of your flesh remains, a bitter-sweet reminder of what could have been. Or is your form proof of what could be? I knew I predisposed you to 2 possibly deadly diagnoses when I chose to have you. I thought a good, loving and nurturing environment could give you immunity. I love. I miss you every day. I long to see the manifestations of your dazzling cognitive abilities, the light of your sparkling personality, and the pure shine of your compassionate and soft-hearted way of being. I mourn. You began your descent away from me when you vaporized into a bong. It liquefied your laughter and hazed our love. The next level of your descent was you floating into a bottle and washing up stupefied. Many times you were bloodied. On each occasion my soul ruptured. I weep. A magnificent infusion of hope soaked my soul when you attended a treatment facility. During those months I had glimpses of the fabulous man that is really you. I was grateful for the laughter, artistry, and companionship you shared with me during that time. I did not know the moment you relapsed, yet I sure felt the fallout of it. The muscle mass you built up and the new friendships you were gaining all disintegrated when the odd puff of green smoke opened your veins to injections of brown euphoria. You were riding the rigs and living the street life in the big smoke. I fear. I am thankful some frontline street workers intervened. You were housed and traded the rig for cash cow status. And that may sound derogatory, but let me tell you, I would sooner have you addicted to the government's drugs than rigging up street stuff. We were able to visit during this period. I cling to the memory of my sleepover at your apartment. It was nice to meet so many folks who were there to help you. They even fixed your teeth. Unfortunately, the visits ended abruptly as a new obsession took over. The crystal descent was by far the creepiest and most dangerous of all. I shudder. The crystal train transported you in a continuous loop, stopping at 3 destinations: the street, jail, and your partner's apartment. Your speech and cognitive abilities quickly diminished. You were flat and shared that you repeatedly suffered auditory hallucinations. It did not take long before you were locked in a facility that specializes in holding the most dangerous people in the country. As horrifying as it was to envision you locked in there, I allowed myself a slight sliver of hope. Maybe you could get better? The dream quickly shattered. As soon as you were not legally required to stay at the facility, you reboarded the Crystal Express. I freeze. I do not know the details of your transition out of the crystal loop back to the brown euphoria, and I never thought I would be happy for such a change. Yet I'm relieved you are out of that horror loop. I do not know if you still hear voices, but I know day-to-day life is a delicate drudgery for you. Social outreach helped you get an apartment of your own again. I wish it to be your sanctuary. My stomach juices used to jet up around my heart and create an infernal heartburn when I thought of the mistakes I made in your youth. I blamed myself for your addiction. Does part of you blame me for your circumstances? Can you look back and get a clear view of the love shield that encircled us then? Do you see the valiant effort I put forth to power and protect the shield, to make sure you knew love? Obviously, I am not naive to the day-to-day hardships a drug addict endures. You know I only cleaned up 3 years prior to your birth. I realize I have mentioned but a small fraction of your suffering in this letter. My aim is to highlight the love I had for you when you were young, and to reiterate that love is never ending. I do not know why you must struggle, for you are a sweet, talented, and loving man. Still, you live in the trenches of addiction, one of the worst mental illnesses. It is vital for me to remind you that I love you just as ferociously as I did the day you were born. I love. Thank you, with all that love can give. Joey.
Subscribe, like, and share to support this channel.